business, and spirituality. On this show, I like to transfer energy on a spiritual level. Wavelengths, frequencies, auras, and fundamentally, through the chakras. Each and every single living organism has a chakra system in which spiritual energy travels through and around it each and every day. I'm Indigo, a walking, breathing, living representation of the third eye in the flesh. And this season on Chakras, the spirit of Indigo, we choose to embark on many topics that are going to allow you to experience ascension and enlightenment on a whole new level. Welcome to the brand new edition, or should I say episode, of Chakras, the spirit of Indigo, where we plan to embark on many topics that are going to allow you to experience ascension and enlightenment on a whole new level. Now, on today's episode, our topic is going to be expressing vibrations, wavelengths, and frequencies. We're going to talk about the types of vibrations, wavelengths, and frequencies, not to mention how to raise them, and something practical to put them in the flesh mentality so you yourself can go out there and experience this ascension and enlightenment on a whole new level, okay? Now, what are the different types of vibrations, frequencies, and wavelengths? This is not the traditional type of vibrations when we talk about the metaphysical and the scientific sine and cosine waves. We're talking about the frequencies and wavelengths and vibrations of the body, which in theology, or should I say ideology, is pretty much the same thing as the sine, cosine wave, and the metaphysical, all right? Now, how do we do this with our body, raising these vibrations and frequencies? Let's look at how they look at it in the sine and cosine, or the mathematical way, should I say. At the very top of a wavelength, or should I say a wave, is called the crest. This is the highest part or the top of the wave. This, if I have to put it in a flesh mentality, is when you're feeling the best yourself, all right? Even when you're down, you're feeling the best self. This is your highest point. At the lowest point of the wave is called the trough, all right? T-R-O-U-G-H. The trough is the lowest point of the wave, all right? So this is when we don't feel as well, all right? Even when we feel bad, then we feel really down, all right? You can be the lowest of the low, and you can also be the highest of the high. So this is why it's a wave, and it's very important that you ride the wave depending on how you're feeling, depending on who you're around, and depending on what your situations are, okay? So make sure you're riding the wave for the crest, which is the high, and you can be the highest of the high. You know what that feels like for you. And you can also be the lowest of the low, which is called the trough, all right? Another term I want you to be familiar with is wavelengths. Wavelengths doesn't pertain to just one, but two, all right? So the wavelengths is the distance between two waves, all right? So if you have one wave going this way, and you have another one going, let's just say this way. I didn't really think that out with two hands, but the distance between the crests of the top is going to be considered the wavelengths. So let's go over that again, just in case I confuse someone. Wavelengths are the distance between the crests of two different types of waves, all right? So you can always measure the wavelengths. All you need is two different types of waves, all right? So those are the different types of vibrations, wavelengths, and frequencies when it pertains to the body, all right? Let's talk about how we can raise them, all right? Now, I like using this form of method called life force energy, all right? This is the Prana, which is also referred to the way that we breathe in the air, all right? All right, this is very primitive. You should definitely go look up those words as well, life force energy, and not to mention prana. Prana is the westernized word that we use. In the Chinese culture, it is pronounced chi. Or in the Japanese culture, it is pronounced ki. All right. Going back to the Egyptian pantheon, it's definitely going to be the ka. All right. This is that feeling that we get here in the center, this gut feeling, intuition, whatever you want to call it, but it's centered there. All right. It also correlates with how we breathe the air in and how we breathe it out. All right. They used to breathe differently back in the day. I don't want to speculate on how they breathed or how their breath was taken because I don't want to be wrong or incorrect. But just know that the way that we breathe now is not the way that they used to breathe back then, all right? The air was different. A lot more plasma was getting into the blood. I'm pretty sure they were a lot more athletic as well, but that's another episode that we're going to talk about as well. Keeping it into the raising of the vibrations, yoga, meditation, mantras, sutras, not to mention daily exercise so you can exercise the mind, body, and the soul, all right? Let's keep it practical for you. I found this test doing it when I was a couple of years ago when I was on a spiritual journey, but if you put together your fingertips, I'm talking about all of them, the thumbs all the way to the pinkies, and you don't try to force them in, you just let them sit there, you can feel the vibrations pulsating off of each other, all right? This is really true. Try it out right now, as a matter of fact. Put your fingers together and feel the pulsating of what's going on, all right? It's very unique. The reason that this is happening is because this is how energy exits the body. It exited in two different types of forms. Energy can exit the body from our fingertips and from our feet. Of course, we can give it off from our brain and our mind as well, but these are the two primary ways to do it, all right? This is why when you shake someone's hand, you have a different type of feeling. When you walk bare feet, grass, dirt, somewhere new or exotic, this is why we have different types of feelings. The pleasures of going through our body in a different form because we're giving off energy and we're also receiving energy, all right? So I just call it the finger test. I'm pretty sure it's called something else, but when I figured that out, I figured out this is really cool. And I began this journey of learning about the vibrations of the body and the wavelengths and the frequencies. And now you can start and begin your journey as well. We're going to take a quick commercial break. That was a lot to take in, I understand. But when we come back, we're going to have the weekly spiritual insight. What's good, content creators? You already know what time it is. I'm your boy Indigo, reporting live from Indigo Studios, all right? Right here in the office. We were talking about grabbing attention. And do I have a surprise for you? Not at the end, not in the middle. I'm going to give it to you right now. That's right. I'm out here talking about giving away 50% on commercials all the way up until Valentine's Day. So what's that? You got like 6 days to hit me up so we can, hey man, how many more I can do? But for the most part, I love making commercials. That's why I got some in my new episodes of Chakras, the Spirit of Indigo. That's why I've been making commercials for like 2 years now. So making commercials is a specialty of mine. I really appreciate businesses for coming to link with me so we can share that group economics, all right? So definitely go out there and keep practicing intuition, creativity, and imagination. I'm Indigo, and I'm gonna see you next time, all right? Holla. Welcome back to Chakras, the Spirit of Indigo, where we're embarking on so many topics that are going to allow you to experience ascension and enlightenment on a whole new level. And this part of the segment right here is going to be called the Weekly Spiritual Insight, all right? And the topic is wavelengths, frequencies, and vibrations. And this week on the Weekly Spiritual Insight, I challenge you, go out there and raise your vibrations, all right? Your frequencies. Find out what kind of wave you ride on, all right? Write it down. That way you begin to become more cognizant of your behavior and your thought process, all right? How do you do these things? Well, you know, I always advocate yoga, and not to mention meditation. But see, we do this every day anyway. That's raising our vibrations and our frequencies. We're just not mindful of how high we're raising them and how low we're feeling them, all right? Now, so the way to do this is do some exercise. physically, doing the physical work really puts it into perspective on how your vibrations and how your body on a molecular level is chemically changing, all right? You can feel it, you can sense it, you can even smell it at times, all right? So definitely go out there and put some exercise to your routine, your daily routine. Doesn't have to be anything strenuous. Even running for a mile every day is the exercise that you need, because you work your entire body with the arms, the legs, the shoulders, the mind, the body, and the soul, all right? Of course, yoga is very extensive. Do the beginner, then intermediate, then advanced, and not to mention meditation, where I've talked about on so many episodes. Get that Zen meditation and that mindfulness meditation into your life, into your daily routines, and begin to raise those frequencies, vibrations, and wavelengths, all right? That was the weekly spiritual insight. We're about to take one more commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have the message of the day. Good afternoon, content creator. We're back again for the Day 14 Challenge, and today we are doing research, all right? I'm doing research with yoga. I've been doing this for a long time. You can't see this mat now, but it's taking its lumps, all right? I've had it for about maybe 8 to 9 years now. Got it from my ex-girlfriend, who turned me on to the game of yoga, all right? And if you don't know, yoga translates to synchronicity of the body, all right? So right now I'm just sitting in a simple butterfly position pose right now. Lots of chakras, well not lots of, but at least 2 or 3 chakras are being aligned right now as we speak, all right? My root and my sacral, all right? If you really want to incorporate the navel chakra, which is the 3rd one, you can sit straight back forward, all right? Now, a lot of this stuff is found in the book that I've been doing research in, all right? This is the 2100 Asanas by Mr. Daniel Lacerda. I teach this on my first season of Chakras, the Road to Indigo, all right? I'm also going to incorporate a couple of episodes with my new season, Chakras, the Spirit of Indigo, all right? Gonna put this link in the description for you. That way you can go out there and get your copy. I really love this book, all right? That's the 2100 Asanas. I'm talking about they got yoga posing for about a couple of years, all right? So as a demonstration, I would not tease you. I'm going to show you my everyday routine, all right? Another routine that you can do every day if you don't choose to do the one that I'm about to show you is sun salutation, a different yoga pose for each hour of the day. I'm going to also put a link in the video so you can get that description, all right? So without further ado, let me work it out. And there you have it. You can do your own, but I choose to breathe each and every time I position myself in a different angle or a pose, all right? So that was my everyday yoga routine. We're doing research around here. I'm gonna catch you again tomorrow, all right? Where it's gonna be day 15, but until then, I'm Indigo. Thank y'all so much. Go out there and practice intuition, creativity, and imagination. Welcome back to Chakras, the Spirit of Indigo, where we're about to wrap it up. But before we do, we got to give you the message of the day, all right? And the message of the day is going to be ownership, all right? Go out there and get some ownership about yourself. And I got 4 principles that I break down each and every show, each and every season, because I want you to, I want it to be cemented in your brain that you need ownership, all right? And those 4 principles include paperwork. The first thing is definitely paperwork. Getting an LLC, getting a partnership, some kind of corporation, get into cahoots with the paperwork, all right? This is gonna give you a foundation. Once you get the foundation, everything else falls in place for you. A lot of people don't know where to start with their business. This is it. I'm sorry, I wanna speak positive. When you get the paperwork into your life, it's a feeling that you get once you hold it. And then once you hold it, it's gonna lead you to wanting to invest into yourself, which that is step number 2, investments. We have to put the time, the money, the resources right back into the paperwork that we just got in order for us to thrive, all right? So we can strive out here in this world. Now, a lot of us have a 9-to-5, not to mention a side hustle. Put some of that money right back into the LLC or whatever kind of paperwork that you just got, because you could have a trademark. Most people don't like to do businesses, they just like to draw. And if you like to draw and you like to doodle, and you can trademark or copyright your logos. That way you can get paid for them every time they're shown or advertised, all right? So it doesn't have to always be an LLC or a business. Just put the money right back into any kind of paperwork that you choose to solidify yourself in, all right? That's gonna lead to step number 3, which is going to be group economics. Very simple. I have something, you have something. Let's add mutualism to the situation so we both can come out on top, all right? And not to mention, in the process, gain character about ourselves, and we gain friendships and long-lasting relationships that we never would have thought imaginable, or could have even fathomed in that regard, all right? So when you're practicing group economics, make sure you're doing it with the right people, the people who you may call your coworkers, peers, family, or friends. Those aren't necessarily always the right people, but sometimes more than likely they are, because you're around them all the time, all right? You just gotta step on your platform, that way they can step on that platform, then you both can add mutualism to each other, all right? That's gonna lead us to step number 4, which is time management, all right? This is the one that I know for a fact a lot of us have a problem with it. I'm struggling with it myself. I love admitting it, but at the same time, I'm working on it. When time management, you have to budget your money and schedule your time so you can attack financial freedom and buy back your time at the same time, all right? What do I mean by this? Some of us work 9 to 5, some of us work side hustles. That's okay. Make sure you're scheduling each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, especially if you work 2 jobs. That's the way that I do it. I guarantee you, once you schedule, you begin to see empty days where you can put some more of that entrepreneurship on that Tuesday or on that Thursday where you don't have anything scheduled or planned, all right? When it comes down to budgeting, we all make enough money because we desire the job that we have, all right? Otherwise, we would go to another job. So we don't have a money problem, we have a spending problem. Once you get your budgeting down pat, that spending problem goes away, all right? And once you get your time or your scheduling down pat, that timing goes away, all right? Where you can manage your time more frequently. Now, those are the 4 principles. I advocate them each and every day. I advocate them each and every week. Make sure you're going out there and you're practicing the 4 principles and actually bringing them into the flesh mentality and creating experience for yourself and the others around you, all right? Now, we're about to get ready to get up out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I am Indigo, the walking, breathing, living representation of the third eye in the flesh. Go out there and practice intuition, creativity, and not to mention imagination. So until next time.